A family in Illinois runs their entire home without drawing a single watt from the grid. Not for a week, for a full year. 100% self-consumption. Solar panels now reach nearly 27% efficiency. Batteries have dropped to 11 cents per watt hour. A house that generates its own energy forever is no longer science fiction. So why have utility companies spent $200 million making sure you can't legally build one? On a typical suburban lot, the roof and walls of a house can now do far more than keep out the weather. They can generate all the electricity a family needs year-round. The shift began with traditional solar panels, but today's building integrated photovoltaics, known as BIPV, turn the entire building envelope into a power plant. These are not just black rectangles bolted to shingles. Modern BIPV panels are designed as roof tiles, window glass, and even facade cladding, blending into the architecture while capturing sunlight from every available surface. The technology driving this leap is the perovskite tandem module. In June 2024, Oxford PV announced a residential-sized double-glass module that hit a world record 26.9% conversion efficiency, meaning more than a quarter of the sunlight hitting each panel is turned directly into electricity. At less than 25 kilograms for a 1.6 square meter panel, these modules are light enough for skylights or curtain walls. Their semi-transparent glass does not just produce power, it also lets daylight filter inside, so the building stays bright without extra lighting. BIPV can be retrofitted onto existing buildings, and its performance holds up even in moderate climates. A 2023 review found that temperature-related efficiency losses, once a major hurdle, can now be controlled with simple ventilation or water cooling systems built into the panels. This means that a well-designed facade or roof can supply the majority, sometimes all, of a home's annual electrical demand. The Ebeling family in Illinois proved this in practice. Their 6 kilowatt BIPV rooftop, combined with careful building design, powered their entire household for a full year with 100% self-consumption. Every appliance, every device, every heating and cooling cycle ran on energy harvested on site. The result is a home that draws nothing from the grid, not even as backup, without sacrificing comfort or convenience. These advances in on-site generation set a new standard. The roof and walls are no longer passive barriers. They are active energy producers, capable of meeting the full needs of a modern home. But sunlight is not always available, and that is where the next piece of the puzzle, energy storage, comes into play. Cutting a home's energy demand starts with the envelope, the walls, roof, and windows that separate indoors from out. The passive house, standard developed in Germany in the 1990s, set a clear target: keep heating needs below 15 kilowatt hours per square meter each year. That figure is less than a third of what is typical for new construction in much of the US or Europe. Achieving it means every detail matters: thick insulation, triple glazed windows, airtight seams, and mechanical ventilation that recovers heat from outgoing air. But insulation alone is not the end of the story. Materials that store and release heat, like phase-change drywall, are now being tested in real homes. In field trials in New York and Berlin, panels infused with paraffin wax absorbed heat as indoor temperatures rose, then released it as the rooms cooled. The result was a 3 to 5 degrees Celsius reduction in temperature swings and a 12% drop in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning electricity use. The cost, about $30 per square meter, is expected to fall as production scales up. Design also plays a role. Overhangs sized for the local sun angle can block summer heat, while letting in winter light. South-facing trombe walls, when filled with phase-change material, cut winter heating needs by more than half in monitored apartments. Each of these strategies shrinks the amount of energy the house needs to stay comfortable, making it possible for on-site generation and modest storage to cover the full load. When the building itself does much of the work, the path to autonomy gets far shorter and more affordable. A house that generates its own energy can only be truly autonomous if it stores enough power to carry itself through the night and cloudy days. Lithium-ion batteries have become the backbone of residential storage thanks to their high efficiency and rapidly falling prices. In 2024, wholesale battery packs dropped to 11.5 cents per watt-hour, with homeowner-ready lithium iron phosphate systems ranging from $3,200 to $8,000 for a typical 10 kilowatt-hour setup. These batteries now deliver round-trip efficiencies above 95%, meaning almost all the solar energy stored during the day is available for use after sunset. But hardware alone isn't enough. The real breakthrough comes from smart energy management systems called EMS. These platforms use real-time weather forecasts and household patterns to predict when to charge, discharge, or shift loads. For example, if the EMS sees a sunny afternoon ahead, it can delay running the dishwasher or charging an electric vehicle until solar output is high, maximizing self-consumption. If a storm is coming, the system pre-charges the battery to ensure backup power. Some advanced EMS even respond to utility price signals, shifting flexible loads to the lowest cost hours. By closing the loop between generation, storage, and demand, these tools make it possible for a home to use nearly all of its own solar power, day or night, rain or shine. The combination of affordable batteries and intelligent controls means that, for the first time, a house can realistically cover its entire energy needs without relying on the grid. This technical foundation sets up the next challenge: the legal and regulatory rules that still tie even the most self-sufficient homes to the utility network. A house that generates and stores its own energy seems like a leap forward, but the true obstacles are legal and regulatory. In the United States and Europe, a dense network of codes keeps even the most advanced self-sufficient homes tethered to the grid. The justification begins with safety. After the 2003 Northeast blackout, the IEEE 1547 standard became the backbone of United States interconnection rules. It mandates that inverters disconnect during outages, protecting utility workers from live wires. This anti-islanding rule makes total independence nearly impossible unless homeowners install complex, utility-approved controls. Financial barriers follow close behind. Utilities and the Edison Electric Institute have spent over $200 million on lobbying since 2010, shaping laws to ensure the grid remains indispensable. Their argument, even if a home never draws power, is that it still relies on the grid for backup. To recoup costs, utilities charge standby fees, monthly bills that apply whether or not any electricity is used. In Florida, Robin Sperones faced charges for grid access despite running her house entirely on solar and batteries. Her experience exposes a system where technical autonomy is undercut by financial penalties. Germany's 2020 Building Energy Act enforces a different kind of limit. Every home, no matter how efficient, must maintain a 6% annual grid connection, justified as a safeguard for emergencies. This rule blocks full disconnection, regardless of technological capability. Regulators claim it ensures stability in crises, while critics see it as a holdover from centralized power models that stifle innovation and competition. Rules written for one-way power flow now clash with homes that can produce and store their own energy. The law, the codebook, and the monthly bill still demand a lifeline to the old grid. In February 2021, Texas faced a blackout that left over 4 million households without electricity as the grid buckled under extreme cold and soaring demand. Amid frozen substations and rolling outages, a handful of homes with solar panels and battery storage stood out. In Austin and nearby counties, data showed that houses equipped with just 4.5 kilowatts of solar and a 13 kilowatt-hour battery managed 4 to 6 hours of steady power, enough to keep heat, refrigeration, and phones working, while entire blocks went dark. These homes became proof that distributed energy could deliver real resilience, not just theory, during a crisis. Yet, despite this evidence, most building codes and utility rules across the country still demand a constant grid connection. Many states continue to charge monthly standby fees, even for homes that rarely or never draw power from the grid. Policy is only beginning to shift. The Residential Energy Autonomy Act, Senate Bill 3428, now before Congress, proposes a federal right for homeowners to disconnect if their systems can supply at least 80% of their annual needs, and would eliminate standby charges for those who qualify. At the same time, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission is considering docket RM 264, which could set national standards for residential microgrids and clarify when homes can operate independently. The rules are changing, but the pace lags behind what is already possible. Each blackout and every new autonomous home adds pressure, narrowing the gap between demonstrated resilience and what is allowed. Right now, building codes and grid policies lag behind what technology makes possible. As energy prices rise and blackouts grow more common, the legal barriers matter more than ever. The path to true energy independence isn't just technical, it's political. The question is, who decides what power means? Share your thoughts below.